Hello and welcome to a sequel nobody asked for. Currently, you're listening to Broken Motivator,
Yep.
the most beautiful
A
Star
broken
Wars.
motivator.
Oh, a broken motivator now? We'll see. We'll see what comes in the final cut.
See. I mean, you're the one that types it out, so you can.
That's true. What if I forget an A there or just don't want to?
Yep.
Otherwise, it's our Star Wars podcast, and we're kicking it off with we're going to be rating the first 9 episodes of Star Wars. You heard it, the first 9, because we know they'll probably milk it till it's even more dry than it already is. I hate sand.
Yep. I know. It's dry and it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
We're starting with episode 1.
Yep.
We're going to spend about 10-15 minutes talk about it, wrap it up,
we
and
will
call
try
it
and keep it that short. Yes.
Oh, okay. We will. I gotcha.
Okay.
At the end of the podcast, we're going to rate it, though. So, and it's going to be based off of hottest character in the film. So hottest, best pew pew moment, the coolest thing that happens, and what's the last one?
Cringe. The cringe moment.
Our spit take, the thing that makes you drop your jaw. Like, did that seriously just happen? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
The double take. We'll call it whatever it is when it comes. Those are going to be our 3 criteria. And then you can then rate it yourself. But let's go from there. Let's general thoughts about the movie first. That's where we'll start. So Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, the first Star Wars film, episode 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit in this camp, and I'm going to sit in this happily. It is my favorite Star Wars film.
Wow.
For its action, the music, everything. Beautiful. And I, as a kid growing up, I did watch the original trilogy. I saw New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I saw those first. And then I watched episode 1. And the effects at the time and being that the right age to see it, I feel like, a youngling. It felt right. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Zach, in fact, does not have a broken motivator. Phantom Menace for me, I'm not going to rank it in like the grand scheme of the movies, but out of the first 3,
out of the first, like episode 1, 2, 3, you're saying
1, 2, 3,
yes,
without spoiling our future episodes, because that'll be a thing. But it really doesn't matter because we're not rating any of this on that. We're rating it on hottest character,
it's getting
pew pew moment, and everything else.
It's spit take.
So. As far as just overall rating, if I were to rate it off the bat, it is number 2 for me out of the first 3.
3, okay. Which means one of them sits a little higher.
Correct.
One out of those 3 does have a better story. Yes.
Number 2 is not. No, number 2 is bad for me. Number 2 is my least favorite.
There are some hot people, there are some pew pew moments, and there are some cringe in that episode too. There's a lot of all 3 of those categories.
That's why it's going to soar in the way we are conducting our podcast reviews. If I were to just like the way I would take it in, which is like an idiot, how the normal people take in movies, but that's why we're rearranging things and giving it this new criteria to look through a different lens. But as the former idiot I was, just normally consuming content like a human being, I would rate Phantom Menace my number 2. If I went in all 9 movies, it'd be up there. It's definitely in the top half for sure. Like,
you'd say your top 3? Top half is in top 50%.
Top 50%, but it's maybe even top quarter. Or like
you're in top 3, top 4.
Like, I think it's top 3, top 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Does it have some flops, some failure points? Yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but there's some great things.
Lot. Like, there's not a lot wrong with the film other than how everything kind of
I think it's great at world
melded at the end. Like, it's just like you have to fit everything all in the last 15 minutes of the film. You have to talk about the Gungans. You have to talk about the Jedi, and it's just all of it's coming to a head quickly. Yes,
there's a beautiful cut of this movie, which I can't base any of my actual opinions on it. There's a cut of the movie where the politics and Jar Jar is cut from the movie, and it's just perfectly fine. It did not change anything of importance. It changed the fact that the movie didn't have those things in it, but it did not change it made the flow better, in my opinion. Like, it literally But in the course of the couple movies, does it make sense not to have those things? I don't know. Jar Jar is a Sith Lord, so to just cut him like that is
and you need
insane.
to have all the conversations with the Senate. You need those. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you can know why Palpatine did what he did and blah, 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 and the rise and fall of the Empire.
I feel like if side note, completely tangent. If Jar Jar was a Sith Lord, he would be working on his own network.
You're saying he's like...
He wouldn't be conjoined with Palpatine. Palpatine has his own protege and his own little grooming of pets.
I agree.
Whereas Jar Jar is like way more evil, way more determined in other things.
Yes.
And he has nothing to do with Palpatine. You know what I mean? Because the Sith way is pretty selfish, and I feel like he'd be very evil and dark and doing.
He might not be like a Sith Lord per se, but he is definitely a dark side user.
Dark side user, yeah. Yep.
Not necessarily Sith. I'm all about that.
Yep.
I'm all about that.
You know what I mean? Like, I never thought him and Palpatine had much of a connection other than the fact that why the hell is Jar Jar on the Senate other than to talk to Palpatine all the time? You know what I mean? Just like, he shouldn't be there. But now it's like that little way. It's just like, we can have more close meetings. Yes. Mm-hmm. But no, I think they're separate.
Jar Jar is both... If that Jar Jar theory is correct, which I believe it to be, it makes Jar Jar amazing. But if that is not real, Jar Jar is a piece of shit. So, like, that's just my opinion on things. Like,
I feel like he'd be way more into like the ancient art of Sith and all the weird, crazy stuff that they do. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I'm 100% all over. We will have an episode about that. That's fine.
Bring the tangent back. Bring the Jar Jar tangent back.
It could be a week from now, a year from now. We will do a Darth Jar Jar episode.
Yeah.
Because, come on.
I feel like I have to do research, but yeah.
I think we could do like a more like well thought out thing.
It's going to be some research and some fan fiction.
Research on that fan fiction.
Yep.
I just, for episode 1, the highs and lows that there are, like the pod racing, like I think it's a great world building thing,
dude.
Yep.
Oh, they don't play on that at much, other than the fact that like it describes that Anakin is a good pilot. Like just like you get that. Is he a good fixer? He's a good on the fly fixer. Yep.
It
I don't think they really established the Force much with him in that.
The midichlorians.
There was one moment where he had to do like a little switch maneuver, I think, but that was it.
In the pod race, you're saying?
In the pod race, yes.
I mean,
it doesn't help the story much, other than the fact that it sounds like it's beautiful noises. And the pew pews, the explosions, left and right. You know,
that is good. We might need to bring it up for best pew pew moment. We might not though. I don't have much to say other than the things we need to rank in this, and that's just my honest opinion right now.
You're done with the general idea of the film, and you're ready to go right into the 3.
I do like the back and forth of Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon. I believe, without going on a huge tangent, if Qui-Gon would have survived, it would have been a very, very different story as far as the arc of everything. Like, I think that Anakin would have been on a much better path because
Qui-Gon would have had a more disciplined mentor compared to Obi-Wan, who at the time was
a
little more reckless and a little bit more.
I don't think he's necessarily he's more disciplined, but he's less Jedi Council oriented. Like he has issues with the Council, which Anakin literally does too. So that's where
Qui-Gon would have definitely helped Anakin a lot more than Obi-Wan
and
was.
His worldviews were very similar.
Because Obi-Wan was just like, I need to like crack down on this rebellious kid, whereas Qui-Gon would have been a lot just more of like, hey, take a step back, breathe, understand your frustration. Whereas Obi-Wan's just like, get over it.
Yep.
You know, because he's young too. You know.
Well, yeah, Obi-Wan is a different type of young rebellious than like Anakin, say. Or like a young Qui-Gon would have been.
He's the kid that gets away with everything because he just looks like he's a goody two shoes.
100%. Like, and that leads me to hottest character.
Hottest character.
Because I'm putting in Ewan McGregor.
Fuck. Can I do the same?
Yeah, no we're supposed to agree.
Him and his little ponytail.
like I'm sure that got somebody's kink going. Like someone's like, dude, I wish my significant other.
It made me like
no, not like
with this character. Like I want to.
Oh no, but I'm saying I bet there's somebody that's like,
yeah, oh yeah.
There's got to be.
Just wait till episode 3 comes around. Oh,
he'll be thrown in the mix. We'll see. But I think we could literally, if that's okay with you, Jar Jar's a close second for me. But that's
I don't find him very appealing. Like he has like that what's that? What that dog that has big floppy ears? He has that kind of feel going. What kind of dog is that? I can't even think of it.
Like King Charles, like the lady from Lady and the Tramp type thing.
Sure, a lot like that.
Yeah,
just big floppy ears.
Yeah, big floppy ears. Not quite your type. I get it.
In the face. Yeah.
I could lock in Ewan McGregor.
What about like if you're into like the gothy kind of like earring Darth Maul? If you're into that kind of thing,
I think that's an honorable mention. Dude, I don't think it's the one, but like there is somebody out there going like the energy he brings. Yeah. Yep. It's 100% like his vibes that portray it. There's not a female character in the movie that I'm like.
Padme's a little young, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
she's a little young.
Yeah, she's not.
Can't tell you how old she is in the film. I think in the film she's supposed to be at least 18, but still.
Yeah, no, I know.
Little young.
In the second one,
was Keira Knightley in that one too?
Yes, so you could use that one.
So small, such a small role.
Even then, like they're not. Yeah. No, Ewan McGregor all the day. It was. Like without a doubt,
you're right. Like Ewan McGregor all the way. Darth Maul, honorable mention.
Oh yeah, honorable mention for the hot. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Now we go to the best pew poo moment, and which I have.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have the same one, but there's
I'm probably going to agree with you right away if you say what I think you're going to say.
I'm going to say Darth Maul, the double lightsaber ignition.
With.
What do you mean?
The Duel of Fates music playing as soon as it starts. Yes. Yes.
Shh. Then you go. What the? He's got two. Whoa! And then
they both the blue and the green come out a moment later.
Yep. Everything preceding it is awesome as well, but like to start the fire.
That's where it starts. The music kicks off. It gets to the point where like even when everything kind of cools off and with like the red laser field, like it's still everything's still intense. Like the music fades, everything's quiet, everyone's just like patiently waiting or pacing,
and brings up a great point of there was never a saber reveal post that I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they tried to do it with Kylo Ren, they tried to have the weird
that kind of one. Was kind of neat though.
It was
how wicked his blade is. Yeah,
I get that.
Like it's just like an overclock computer, and it's just crazy. Yeah,
it just didn't have the sequencing. Like it wasn't like boom, this thing happens, and then a bunch of cool stuff happens too. Like that was so much more wow than.
There was one little thing in that I, as an older person watching it, like and seeing it now, like they could have did a lot more force usage there. The only force powers that happened where Darth Maul uses his force pull to like. Blast open a door, like he pushes an object into the door and it opens up, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's the only force usage that happens. Huh?
I want a saber throw in any movie, but we're not going to get into that.
We got a kind of trashy one in Return of the Jedi, but that's it. It's a saber throw where it doesn't come back. He just eats it at his own son. Like in the games, they revisit. They're like, okay, he's able to recall the blade, and it's cool. But in that film, he just throws it at the stairs and at his own son, and that's it.
It's literally just like a real father-son relationship.
Dang kid! He's like throwing a shoe at him. Get down from there. Never.
Which leads us to the what the fuck moment.
The cringiest
spit take. Like, what is the thing that makes you go?
Seriously? When Anakin says, "You're an angel," oh my god, this kid.
That and like they have to like say angels are this thing. Like they had to explain what an angel was because in Star Wars universe, you're like obviously like they're not going to have the same religion.
So you agree with me, right? Do you have another one lined up or no?
I didn't have one necessarily, and that really.
I'm sorry that I had it like that.
Good.
I had it ready to go.
That one's good.
Were
you gonna do
like because everything like comes to a halt? You're like, oh my god, he's like flirting with a chick that's out of his like range and like way older than him.
Yeah,
this is bad. It's cringy. Like all the Jar Jar stuff aside, just like
all the
Jar Jars are idiot that we love, but like that
Jake,
like,
the actor that plays Anakin, also.
Yeah,
I thought Anakin's great. I want to.
No, he did
he did literally what George Lucas told him to do.
Yeah,
that's what I've literally heard from every source ever.
Like he did it. Like literally, Qui-Gon was like duck, and he did it.
Yep, and like the people that are like, oh, he's like, I hate that little guy, whatever it is. Like, come on, like we know what it was. He did a great job.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He did great in Turbo Time.
Like there was little moments when he's in the cockpit of like that one plane, like the Naboo fighter. Like you really felt like, wow, this is Darth Vader in the making right here.
Yeah,
he did that as like a 10-year-old kid.
Oh yeah, 100%. And
cool.
Like,
but no, that moment was cringe.
That moment though,
sorry.
There were some dialogue options that he had to say that were just the yippee. Don't know how I feel about the yippee.
What yippee?
We're
like, I'm gonna make you like, a Jedi, yippee! Or like when he
they're like, oh, go grab your stuff. We can go to the thing. I forget what it was, and then he's like, yippee, and he like gets off the thing.
All right,
it's not nearly as bad as
it's not as bad.
No,
it's not.
Not even.
It's something you would expect from a kid, not flirting.
Yeah,
with a princess.
And calling her an angel when angels don't exist in that universe. Like the thought of an angel is not even a thing, and then they try to make it a thing.
Yeah,
I just. On that note, I think we literally summed up.
We brought it up, knocked it down right away.
Yeah, I think that's perfect, and we're gonna go on to episode 2 next. This was
a broken motivator.
Breaking the motivator. A broken motivator. However it ends up coming out, we'll see if I remember when it gets edited. But we will see you guys later. We'll do Star Wars stuff in general, but like for now, we're gonna work our way, no matter how long it takes, through all the 9 movies. I think it won't be forever, but maybe it is. Maybe we'll be stuck here in eternity. Maybe this is what's that, purgatory, that place between.
Yeah. I forget what they called it in Star Wars Rebels, like that 4th dimension area that Ezra ends up. It's that area.
It's that area where we're just chilling.
Yeah, you just kind of
long time ago, galaxy, blah blah blah.